Welcome back, everyone, to another episode of Decentralized Chain. It's me, Feroz, and today I am joined by the founder of TokenSight. Now, I've spoken about TokenSight a couple of times on my channel, so definitely check out the earlier videos if you want to get a bit more of an insight on how it can benefit you. But rather than watching that video, in fact, we're going to hear it straight from the founder himself. Blogoj, welcome to the channel. How have you been?
Thanks, Firoz. It's always great to talk with you. I'm good. We've been focused in the past couple of months on releasing these new updates, which we just released 10 days ago. Now we're testing it and like doing some minor improvements and looking to do some outreach on that, like distribute the product to as many as people as possible. But mainly that, like obsessed with the new updates, pretty much.
Perfect. Well, for those who don't know, I've known Blogoj for a while now, actually, and I'm an avid user of TokenSight. And certainly, I would encourage those of you who haven't had a chance to check it out. But before you do, you're going to want to stick around for this interview because we're going to be dropping some of the insights into what it's all about. In fact, we're going to try and relate it back to how it actually helps you as an everyday person within the crypto space. So before we go into the detail, Blogoj, I think one thing that I want to sort of just get across to the viewers so they know is, can you give us a quick overview on what it is and how it helps traders, I would say, navigate the DEX trading world, really, which is the decentralized exchanges. So just a quick brief, not too much detail, but just so people get an idea of what TokenSight is about.
Right. So TokenSight is a self-custodial DEX trading platform. What we're trying to achieve is provide people with a great trading tool, which provides a great user experience, but also retains self-custody. So people don't need to care about security. And what we're essentially trying to do is bridge the gap between security and UX, which has been a persistent problem in crypto for quite some time.
And I think just to kind of further sort of elaborate on that point, I suppose what Blogoj here is saying is that you're able to trade on decentralized exchanges while maintaining complete control of your wallet. So you've heard that phrase many, many times in crypto: not your keys, not your wallet. So the idea is that when you leave tokens on centralized exchanges, there is always a risk. There is always a risk. The exchange gets hacked, it goes down, you have a risk of losing your funds. So on the opposite side of that spectrum, we've got decentralized exchanges. And here, the idea is certainly that you are in control of your wallet while still having a smooth trading experience. Now, you mentioned earlier when we were speaking that you've launched a new version of TokenSight, I'm going to say, which from what I've seen so far is pretty exciting. I'm curious, what motivated you to roll out these sort of updates? I mean, I imagine you must be addressing some pain points that, our crypto users are facing daily.
Right. So we're very close to our users and want to make it best for them. So we listen what our users have to say. And basically, we identified quite a few issues with our previous version of the platform. These are both like technical and non-technical issues. So basically, we wanted to improve the looks and feels of the platform, change few patterns that will make the whole user experience much better, so people can use the platform in an easier way. They can do their trading, they can handle their actions more easily. And also, we identified that we lack certain features that will keep the users in the app. For example, we didn't have an easy way to move assets from one chain to other chain. And of course, like since when we started, we were aiming to something like we have right now. But of course, it takes time to build, we went with adding many different features initially, while having a very, very small team. So I would say like quality suffered a little bit. But we realized our mistakes, and also we got to know what people appreciate more. So we went into that direction, and it can be summarized as like fixing uh, what was problematic, and also enhancing the platform with extra features that make it much more useful, and the platform now provides much more utility for its users.
I think one of the things, and those who are frequent viewers of the show will know that, you know, outside of crypto, I'm a product owner. So when it comes to creating products, user input is absolutely key. User experience is absolutely key. Making products that allow users to stick to the platform is key. And I think one of the things that I've certainly enjoyed being part of the TokenSight community is actually the taking on board of user feedback. And not just every single item of feedback. I think is feedback that makes sense, because sometimes if you do allow yourself to be led all by your users, you know, the truth is users don't know what they want most of the times. They have a rough idea of what direction they want to go. So it's good to see that you're taking all of these sort of feedbacks on board and bringing out features that make a difference, I suppose. I'm going to touch on something that you mentioned actually earlier, and you know, it's awesome what you've done so far. Now, you said earlier about moving funds from one asset, well, from one chain to another. So, and I've noticed in the crypto space that this moving of funds between different chains actually can be an absolute real headache. So, how does the new bridge feature in TokenSight actually simplify the process for the average user who might be juggling across multiple chains?
Uh, right. So the new bridge feature is integrated into TokenSight, and we designed it in a way that the actual bridging has as few as interactions as possible, and is simple for people, so they don't need to have a lot of technical knowledge to figure out how to move funds from one asset to another. And with TokenSight, uh, we have integrated wallets. So to use the platform, people need to deposit funds into
Yeah.
their wallet. And what this actually enables is uh, that each integrated wallet has multiple addresses for each chain. For example, for the EVM chain, there is one address because the address format is actually the same. So, for example, you have the same address for Ethereum and Arbitrum and Optimism, let's say.
Yep.
But for Solana, there is a different address.
Yeah.
So when people go to the bridge page, we already know their wallet, so they don't need to select the wallet. Basically, they're moving funds from one chain to another chain into the same wallet. So like choosing a wallet, like connecting wallet, that's abstracted away. Also, uh, also with the actual bridging experience is very smooth. So people don't need to know like chain when the chain is like the when the block is finalized or is not finalized. They don't need to wait for 64 block confirmations. But the actual bridging, yeah, is like is very straightforward. So what people need to do is to choose the amount, to choose the chain, and to also support bridging for different assets. So for example, it's not that like if you have ETH or Ethereum, you must bridge to Solana to some wrapped version of Ethereum, but it's like okay, like most likely if you're bridging from ETH to Solana, you want to use Sol or USDC or USDT there. So TokenSight enables just that. Like you can bridge from ETH on Ethereum to Sol on Solana, or from ETH to on Ethereum to USDC on Solana, and then go from there. We use Houdini swap in the background, and their technology is really impressive. So the actual bridging takes sometimes 1 minute, sometimes less, sometimes few minutes, but not much longer than that. They provide really good rates, so the slippage should be very low. It also depends on the assets, but there are also no fees on top of that. So for the actual bridging, there are no fees. So like all these things combined actually contribute for a really good and smooth bridging experience. And from as a user, like of course I'm a bit biased, but I've also been I've also been using like crypto for quite some time, like trading using different chains. And TokenSight bridge is one of the smoothest I've used so far because like as I said, we try to like we went with that mindset, make it like as easy as possible for the end user. Uh, yeah, I think that
I think that's key is what you've said there is actually making things easy as possible. And I think if I was to simplify that in one word, you literally have a starting chain, you say where you want it to go, TokenSight will spin up the relevant address for you. Those keys, those addresses, they're in your control. So it's not like somebody else has them and off you go. You just wait for it to happen, which I think from an everyday crypto user's perspective is actually quite key, especially when we start seeing meme coins run, for example, right? This is a typical example that might be happening on one chain. You have a significant amount of your crypto portfolio perhaps on Ethereum, and you're like, how do I quickly get it over to the other chain? A typical user could potentially think, oh, you know what, I'm just going to stick it in, I don't know, I'm going to put it in Binance, and then I'm going to convert that Ethereum in Binance over to Solana. You're going to incur some fees at that point. Then you're going to say, right, now I've got my Solana, decentralized Solana wallet. I'm going to take the Solana from Binance. I'm going to transfer it over to my wallet address, which is off chain, which is which is not on a centralized exchange. You're going to incur some fees, and then it's going to get to the other end. By the time that's happened, maybe your launch has already started. Maybe you're down already to a certain extent. So I think if I was to relate it back to an everyday use case, you know, the idea of just being able to quickly switch tokens from one chain to another is certainly what I would say a game changer for a lot of everyday users. Speaking of making things easier, Blagoj, the new global chain selector and the search bar caught my eye, actually. How do these features improve UX? I mean, especially for someone who's trying to keep track of, you know, various tokens on various exchanges.
right. So I think it's like good to mention some history. So when we first started, we were supporting only Ethereum. So like the whole UI at that point was designed for a single chain. And then as we progressed, we added more chains, we added more features, but the UI like the hierarchy stayed the same. So we actually like had like a chain selector on the trade page. We had another chain selector on the like on the wallet page. We had a chain for each wallet. Then we had a chain selector on the dashboard page. So it was very fragmented. And now, like when we took like a step back and we wanted to like redesign the whole UI, so it makes a much more sense for the end user and makes it much easier for them to navigate through the platform. We realized that we actually need a global chain selector, and we also need a global search bar. So now, like when people are to some other page than the trade page, they can easily go and search for tokens and buy those tokens. So it kind of like makes the interactions much simpler in a way, and also adds some structure to the whole app. So for example, when Ethereum is selected, everything is for Ethereum. When Solana is selected, everything is for Solana. And also it's a certain design pattern. some people appreciate more if all of their assets are into one place, so they can see their their Ethereum assets and Solana assets and base assets into one place. And we certainly thought about that too, but what we ended up with was this way of doing things, because the other way, like mixed views, are actually much more complex, and like the crypto industry at the moment is still very conscious about where the tokens are traded. So if you're trading some meme coins, you certainly know which chain is it on. We're still not there where like the chains are completely abstracted and you can go and trade let's say Pepe, and you actually don't know on which chain you're trading. So we're not there yet, and users are still aware. They're still like conscious about the chains they're trading. So it really made perfect sense just to go with the global chain selector. For now, we're also like very closely tracking the progress on chain abstraction. We're going to do some stuff around that ourselves, but for now we went with the global chain selector. And about the search bar, that's global now too. So it's yeah, like people can open the search bar, and also the actual search model is much more advanced right now. We show much more data, but it doesn't mean that it's much more complex. I think it's actually simpler than the previous version.
With all these new features, I mean, it certainly seems like you're aiming to make TokenSight, a one-stop shop for traders, and I'm all for one-stop shops. In all honesty, there's a lot of stuff that one needs to do, especially if you delve into the decentralized aspect of trading in crypto, whereby if you want to do something, there are a number of multiple tools that you could potentially have to use in order to do something. And what you're doing with TokenSight in terms of trying to bring it all under one roof, I like that. Certainly, I appreciate that from a user experience perspective. How do you think these updates will change, from your perspective, the daily routine of a typical crypto user?
Yeah, that's right. So we want to make it one-stop shop for trading. We don't want to create a super app. That's I think it has been a thing for quite a while in crypto, but no successful product was built. So we want to provide traders with like as much utility as possible, so people can trade on chain while their assets are secure, so they don't need to care about that, and also don't feel the blockchain nuances. We are step by step getting there, where we abstract away things that are blockchain specific, while also trying not to abstract too much things, because like to be real, we are building for crypto traders, and people that will come to our platform need to have some crypto knowledge.
Yep.
So we're actually trying to do that. Like our goal is very simple: provide provide a platform with great user experience while maintaining security. And uh, and yeah, we're not trying to build a super app. We're trying to go into trading and like provide a performant trading platform, which we have right now, and it has a bunch of extra features that help traders into like managing their portfolio and like moving across chain, which overall increases their their chances of good PNL, like actually providing value for the end users.
Looking forward, you mentioned when we were sort of talking offline, big plans on the horizon. And sort of without giving too much away, I mean, what can users expect from TokenSight in the near future? That might further, I don't know, simplify, maybe even, enhance their trading experience.
Right. Actually, there are a few different directions here. Uh, one thing that we're going to do in the immediate term is that for the current platform, we are going to add trading campaigns. We are going to add the leaderboard, and we'll be running trading campaigns there. Besides that, there are a few directions that we want to take. We're still brainstorming. But one thing that we don't want to do is to just add marginal features that really don't improve uh, uh, like the experience much. So
well, it's a trade-off in terms of effort put in and value driven out with I would say with any software solution as well at the same time, right? In terms of how valuable are the updates in terms of how much value a user actually gets out of the update.
Yeah, exactly. We just don't want to slap extra features that will maybe marginally help some people, but will not help them a lot. So what we're trying to do is kind of like try to add some features that will achieve the 0 to 1 effect. That won't be like that won't be marginal. That will improve people experience by a lot. So we already like have few directions, have few ideas. At the moment, we are prioritizing things because like rushing things can only like rushing things and not being right costs a lot in crypto.
Yeah.
It's very like competitive environment. We're trying to maximize the utility for our end users, and we're brainstorming what's the best to do next in this direction. Of course, the platform, like the new version that we released, will be maintained and maintained well, and things will be fixed there. Like if there are any bugs, we'll of course like fix them. And we're also staying on top of the market, and because like trend shifts really
Oh
fast.
yeah. I'm sure it's already
Yeah.
shifted like 4 or 5 times while we've been speaking for the past 20 minutes.
Yeah, exactly, and I think that's also super important to be really in touch. So we'll release our new roadmap and exactly what we'll do in the next few weeks, I would say. We'll also release the competitions I've mentioned as soon as next week. We're also doing some other things. For example, we are working on a new stats page. That's more of a like overall protocol health or app health and metrics. Uh, we do have June dashboard, but that's a bit inaccurate. We're not the maintainers there, so we have limited control on that. But yeah, we'll release this new roadmap in a week or so, and people will know more the exact details where we are going. We're at the moment trying to distribute the current platform to as many people as possible, because I think yeah, we released the new updates, but not many people are aware of that. They still have the perception of the old platform, and every day we're actually getting some really good feedback that people were actually surprised by the new updates, and that they really like it a lot. And so far, we didn't have any negative feedback, which in my view is very positive. Uh, Previous updates actually had mixed feelings even from the start. Now that's not the case, so I'm very confident that this new update will actually have very positive impact on the whole project.
Good stuff. Well, look, I mean, this is super exciting stuff in all honesty. And I'm certainly going to say for anyone who's watching this episode, and and you're sort of dealing with the usual hassle that you get of DEX trading, right? And you want a much more enriched experience. I'm going to say an experience that also gives you edge. Then I would certainly say check out TokenSight, whether you're trading on web, whether you're trading on mobile, and Telegram. With TokenSight is also a Telegram bot, and you know what those Telegram bots are used for. So certainly check it out. There's a lot that you can do on it, and this hopefully is the start of a series of talks that me and Blogoj will have going forward, where we talk about TokenSight, where we talk about how it's helping traders with current narratives, with future trends, and pulling out some success stories as well. Blagoj, thank you so much for coming on the show. And before we go away and wrap up, any last words for our viewers?
Yeah. So first, thanks for hosting me. It was really a pleasure, and hopefully we talk again soon. So for the viewers, I would say you should try our new version of TokenSight, and stay follow us on social media. Stay close with our updates. We're going to run a few trading campaigns really soon. So we're actually going to be rewarding people for using the platform and trying it out. We're also very open for feedback and for everything that you want to see on TokenSight. We're here to listen and to hopefully implement what makes sense and what makes life easier for traders.
Perfect. Thanks, Blagoj. And all the details can be found below in the description. So make sure you check it out, guys, and we'll see you on the next episode.